Yes.
Because then you know that the memory we have is not a video.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reconstructed memory, so it's likely to be distorted over times, and by the things other people ask you or other things affect you. So if the witness or like the one who witnessed the crime scene, they are very easy to be their opinion, what they see, very easy to be changed by the police. In rock case, what's the word?
People are suggestible. I mean, are you saying that people's memories are not accurate, and someone can imagine that they saw something because they are prompted to believe that they saw something?
Photographic memory,
Some people have that and some don't.
Like you here, it's very common for people to have a photographic memory, which is not really an accurate memory. Like you're reading and you tend to remember the word in which lines of that paragraph, but over time you get the memory inside your mind blur over, and you can't remember where is it. Whenever you have to do with a question in the test, and is mentioned part of the lesson that you have revised the other day. You try to remember, and while you try to remember, you tend to remember all the setting around you also.
I've also heard it said that your memory is a memory of the last time you thought about it.
Yeah.
And so what you call to mind, or what comes to mind as a memory, is just the last time that you remembered something. So your memory is a memory of a memory.
It's hard. Well, let's say if you have any article about that, you can read on like that, because it helps people to make good organizations to get them remember something long, at least some detail that can help them paint out the rest of their painting, the rest of their scene, the story in their mind, and the clues that get them to the main memory.
Fill in the details.
Yeah.
So I guess it's kind of funny that it begins by explaining something that you're trying to forget. Actually, right? Because it's like, what is meant by the mind? Well, many people say it's these things, but really, the goal is to stop thinking like that.
Yeah. For the first time, I thought that they try to explain the mind, how your mind works, and how they have the different modes over here. My system, there are 3 modes of activity, and then the division inside mode, and try to, after reading each paragraph, I try to summarize what I try to see. This is how I see it. It's really hard to follow all along and without knowing the main points.
Yep.
So this article, as you said, is more difficult than the first one, the arc through it. Yeah, it's the pretty straightforward example, very easy one. But I also have something in similar here.
Right.
Yeah.
So, do you remember the thing that we were talking about?
Yeah.
So, when you wiggle your fingers, try to think about, or try to see if you are watching it, or are you controlling it, and what is the connection between seeing it and experiencing it? Right. That was the thought experiment.
Yeah, I thought this experiment talking like you don't know that you cannot sense, you cannot taste, experience the signal that you're given from your brain to your hand, so you cannot tell that you are doing the right thing. And everything you see, your mind try to represent it into a given pattern. Right? So what I'm doing now is not exactly. And you know, that's why funny when I try to link the previous events that I've been to, like I've been to a science class. They say that the leaf you see is not green.
Mm-hmm.
It's not green at all. It has a
It
different
reflects
color.
green.
Yeah, it reflects because it cannot like observe green light.
Right.
Yeah, so it deceives you.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that's right.
The color that you perceive is the color that is reflected, not the color that is absorbed.
So it's not a color of itself, too.
Which maybe it's easier to understand that when you're in a different color light, the only color that can be reflected is the color of the light that is being shown. So if you're under a red light, all you see is red, and if you take something that appears red under a red light into white light, then you will see the true color.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's not the true color, is it? You'll see.
You know, they use some equipment, some kind of equipment to test for the color of the leaf. And what I see was a blue or something, light of blue, near the blue light. Yeah, it's like, so totally not green. And that makes people, after I read the article you sent me, it's made me think that what we perceive so far could be, many of them are erroneous. Right? What's the word?
Yeah.
Erroneous. And by the way, this word here, this cover word, I can't understand. Genesis, right? Genesis.
That's the origin, the
The
creation.
origin. Physical body is. How did you say this?
Has its
Genesis.
origin. Genesis.
Genesis. So every physical body has its origin.
So conditioned. It's conditioned. It's created. Building up a world of representations. So. Right? It's taught to believe that some things exist, and the representations are named, right? And it's because of the instruction that it builds the world.
They have also classified the mind into three categories here: functioning sense mind, discriminating mind, and the last one, universal mind. What is the last one? The universal means the general authority. Everyone mind is that.
So functioning mind may be
Functioning here means working, right? Working sense mind. So it's the working of a normal mind. And the next one is easy to understand, but the last one is.
so maybe it's the reactive. I would say like reacting to something, reacting to your senses, discriminating, maybe logic, and then universal mind, the consciousness that enters you from the eternal plane of consciousness. I mean, there is an idea that we are all, well, I don't know if this was in the Archdruid or some other reading, but the question is, what is the origin of consciousness? And so Western scientific rationalism says that your mind is a product of your physical body, and the brain has these chemical reactions that give it consciousness. But there's another way to think about it, which is that consciousness enters you from some kind of eternal consciousness. That consciousness can leave your body
Alright.
and join again with the eternal consciousness. So some people would call that God. And in Buddhism, they don't use that, but maybe instead of calling it God, they call it universal mind.
Alright.
So again, we're talking about something kind of like a geometry, where you have a plane,
No.
one level of reality where we exist, but maybe there's another level of reality that can pass in and out, and maybe consciousness enters us from another place, and that place here is called universal mind.
Yeah, in the article they said that consciousness is derived from will. So you conscious something, you're that it's against your will. Like you touch a table, and it's against your will. So you're able to sense that. You're able to see it's real. It's the consciousness they're talking about in the previous article.
I'm gonna have to go,
Yeah. I'm sorry.
sadly.
It's fine. I just want to talk more about the new words, and that's all. Yeah, so we continue with Buddhism or
Yeah. I'm gonna start a new class on Thursday at 6 p.m., which means I have to be there at 5 p.m.
Alright.
But we could meet on Tuesday
Tuesday
at 5:30.
5:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tuesday, 5:30.
I'm gonna be coming probably back to EMG to get some things from the accounting office
Accounting office.
on Monday or Tuesday. Maybe I'll stop by on Monday, and maybe I'll come back on Tuesday too.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising when I spoke to Tien today, you know.
What's that?
She said that she told me they had completed my work permit,
Completed your work permit. Which means
but I never remembered having that conversation with her. So she said they finished my work permit and that I have a work permit with EMG, and now that I'm quitting, they're charging me
Alright, I
for
see.
the fee. She says she told me, and I said we never had that conversation. So it's,
So what
it's
coming
kind of expensive.
Alright. 15.
3 million.
3 million.
3 million that they're taking out of my salary for the work permit that they just finished in January, but they never told me about.
Which how can you know about your work permits expired?
So I had one in 2015, and then they canceled it when I quit. And then they were going to get a new one.
So they get a
And
new
first they
work
told
permit
me
for you.
they applied and the application was rejected. And then she told me that she told me that it had been accepted, and I said, no, you never told me that it had been accepted after it was rejected. So someone's lying, but I honestly don't remember having that conversation with her.
Oh, yeah.
So that was kind of surprising.
If you pull out Rana, would you have to pay for the